Hello, hello, hello. So hi, how are you? Kind of an impromptu video that we're doing today. I wanted to play something just kind of quick that I could do. I've been meaning on going back to this game. I had played it about a year ago on my PlayStation, and I wanted to do it again. I already have a character, so we're just gonna replay the first area again. Mainly this was for, let's talk about E3. Because as you know, E3 happened this weekend, ending today. Obviously one of the biggest games that was announced, actually wasn't announced at E3, which was, Elden Ring. Which, being a very big Souls fan, as you can see I'm playing Nioh 2, which is a Souls-like game, being a big Nioh fan, a big Souls fan, I was very excited when they initially announced Elden Ring. I was like, you know, this is amazing, this sounds so cool. As it got, you know, I mean, we went, what was it, 2 years without getting any kind of update on it. Except I think, like, at the beginning of 2020, it was like, oh, by the way, we're still working on this. You know, don't forget about it. And then nothing else. And then that terrible, quote-unquote, leaked footage came out of the gameplay, and it actually turned out to be Project Bloodborne. I was like, please, no, it can't look like that. Okay. Uh-oh. I forgot how to play this game. Okay, we should probably just run from him, because I don't remember how to play this. Alright. Let's just run. Bye-bye now. I don't remember how to play. We probably won't even get to the end of this. I just kind of wanted to, you know, talk about E3 a little bit. Yeah, so, they announced the trailer. Gave the full announcement trailer, at Summer of Games, which I thought was kind of interesting. Apparently it was because, I think I'd read somewhere that, there was threats of it being leaked before, E3. So they were like, okay, well, you know, let's kind of like jump ahead. Let's go ahead and release the game. That may not be true. I don't really know. As far as the trailer is concerned, I was not as impressed as I would have liked to have been. It's like, you had all this time. You've been working on this game for years now. And literally the first area of the game, like the first thing we see about the Tarnish and all this, is literally Gale's boss fight chamber from Dark Souls 3. I was like, really, Queen? Like, you didn't want to do anything different? Like, not even remotely? I was like, yeah, cool, big tree, like all that stuff, but it's just, I don't know. And then, on top of that, like, I've played every Souls title I have played with friends. Like, literally, every one of them. I platinumed, Dark Souls 3, thanks to my best friend, which, was fantastic. I actually helped him platinum, a couple of them as well. Only one I haven't actually played through all the way was Sekiro. It's really difficult for me, and I don't think I ever will. That being said, it's just, like, as far as the co-op thing, I have read that Miyazaki announced a lot more information after the release of the trailer. Like, apparently it's supposed to co-op is going to work differently in this game. Like, it's going to be tied to large areas and boss fights. So it doesn't seem like you're gonna be able to actually, like, explore. I guess with it being an open world, it makes sense. But for me, it kind of takes a little bit of the fun out of it. Because, like, with this game, it's designed for you to be able to go through every single area together. I mean, granted, obviously, this is done 1,000% different than a game like Dark Souls. Like, this one is done like mission level based, whereas Dark Souls, like the Dark Souls series and Bloodborne, like you travel to the areas. So it is different, and I get that. It's just, I don't know. Also, there wasn't enough variation in the areas from previous Souls titles. Especially, it seems that they took a lot of inspiration from Dark Souls 3. Which, to me, I was like, I would have preferred a little bit more from Bloodborne. Seeing as Bloodborne was one of the best, despite its numerous flaws. I am still hoping for a PC release. I would love to see what mod developers could do if they could ever get their hands on the game and make it properly. It'd be a godsend. It'd be an absolute godsend. Yeah. So, also it's coming out in January, which, I mean, is really cool. Like, you know, I was like, January? Like, that's actually kind of close if you think about it, because, I mean, it's June, the middle of June, so that's not that far. Hopefully they'll release more about it. As it stands right now, I don't know if I'm going to buy it on launch day. I will buy it. I just don't know when. That being said, so E3 in a nutshell, for me, again this year, not that impressive. Last year's wasn't that great. Obviously, we were going through the panorama. It wasn't going to be that good. We all kind of knew that. Nothing really got announced that was just, you know, groundbreaking and like cow. This year there were a few nice surprises. For me, bottom of the list this year has got to go to Square Enix. Like, bruh. And I say bruh as a 31-year-old homosexual, gender fluid individual. Them trailers were trash, man. That whatever, hold on, I don't even remember what it's called. Give me a second, let me look it up, because it was garbage. Final Fantasy Origin, some stranger of some bullshit or other. Okay. Like, for one, the guy said, oh, I almost fucked that up too. The guy said chaos at least 37 times in the first, like, minute of the intro. Granted, it's just terrible. Also, did we have to pick the most generic push A button to finish making character prototype model ever? It is a generic white man in a t-shirt. You don't look nothing like the Warrior of Light, honey, Miss Honey. Like, it just looked bad. And I remember reading, and I feel so bad because it's made by the same people who made this game, who made Nioh. It's made by Team Ninja. And I love Team Ninja games. But it's like, it's getting to a point where a lot of game series are making their versions of quote-unquote Souls-like games. And I'm like, can we stop? Like, the Souls series is a groundbreaking series in the gaming world. They are some of the most difficult until you get them down. Once you get them down, they're not that hard. They're not that hard. I can, I can do a lot of fights in Dark Souls, like in most Dark Souls games now. I can do a lot of fights on pretty high difficulty. It's just getting the patterns right. It's just something about this game. It did not look good. It was like all male cast. Obviously, so they could have their version of inclusivity. They put in their token person of color, who looked just like an absolutely arbitrary character, that's not how we want to show diversity, is to have an arbitrary character. Like, make this character look important to the story. He did not. Also, apparently there is a demo out, or like a trial version or whatever on PS5 that is absolute trash. Apparently it's broken. I don't know. I don't have a PS5. Still do not have a PS5. Do not know if I'm actually going to get one. Just not really anything coming out for it that I want. But they also announced the Final Fantasy pixel remasters, which I'm like, okay, a pixel remaster. So basically, they're going to do Final Fantasies 1 through 6, first 3 being on regular Nintendo, the original NES, the other 3 being on Super Nintendo. They're going to make them all look in Super Nintendo graphics, only on Steam and mobile devices, which, means you're going to get a mobile game released on Steam. And they're going to be released individually, not all together. So I'm like, you are seriously going to charge all this money for remasters of games from years ago? Which, I mean, I expected Nintendo to be doing something like this, because, that's Nintendo's entire MO right now. Is, let's give you games that you've already paid $60 for once. Let's give them to you again. And make you pay that $60 again. I.e., Skyward Sword. Which, pre-orders are out for that, for Skyward Sword HD. Which America got an absolute shit end of the stick. We are getting absolute garbage as pre-orders for us. UK is getting amazing things. A friend of mine and fellow YouTuber, Ultra Marcus, if you are into Transformers or any Transformer like videos, or if you are a fan of stop motion videos, please go give Ultra Marcus a like. Go check out some of his videos. Give him a follow. Tell him who sent you. He's a really good guy. He's a nice friend of mine. And I want to help him get some more subscribers. So that would be awesome if you do that. But yeah, Nintendo's been doing this kind of shit for years, and I think a lot of other companies are going to start doing it and just not actually giving the game anything. But yeah, Square Enix was not that good. Xbox, I didn't really keep up with a lot of it. I do know they finally announced the Halo Infinite. They gave it a release window, not a release date. That's kind of cool. I think they announced some more stuff about Scarlet Nexus, which is coming out at the end of the month, that I'm very excited for, because I really like those games. It's also developed by the same people who did Tales of Vesperia's Definitive Edition. Which, as I bitch about definitive editions and things like that, I absolutely bought the definitive edition of Vesperia, but that's because it was the, it is an actual definitive edition. It was the PS3 version because it originally came out on the Xbox 360, and we got the PS3 version when it was re-released on new consoles and, Steam. Amazing game. If you've never played a Tales game, it's really good. That was also a big announcement. I think they were going to announce some more stuff about Tales of Arise, maybe, at some point. Because I think Bandai Namco's hasn't happened yet. Also, I think I read where they were only announcing one game. Or they were only going to talk about one game, which was something called House of Ashes. It's part of this anthology game. It's like an 8-part game. It's like, I think like Little Hope, Man of Medan, and something other. I remember wanting to play Man of Medan, and then I looked at some gameplay footage and I was like, wow, mama, this does not look that good. So we did not play that one. Let's see, who else was, Nintendo. Ubisoft announced one of their games because it is a Nintendo title, but it got announced during Ubisoft's E3, which is really cool. The Mario and Rabbids sequel. I don't know if anybody was a fan of Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I was, because it was like XCOM, but not near as difficult, because XCOM, if you've ever played XCOM games, XCOM games are notoriously hard. They are very, like, they're strategy games that are they're just incredibly tough. Like, you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. Like, you have to pay attention to, I forgot about you, you little shit. There we go. I got it. But, like, you're fighting aliens, and it's like a strategy game, and you're, like, moving on a grid, and, like, all this kind of stuff. And you have, like, a percentage of how you can attack. Like, if you go to shoot at somebody, it's like, oh, you have 67%. I guarantee you that 67% is going to be to your detriment. You are not going to actually hit that enemy. I'm still not used to playing on Xbox controls. So I keep having to look down at my buttons. I was like, wait, what's my button? There we go. I won. Yay. Got a soul core. Did another thing. Sweet. Go team. Anyway, completely got off topic, off track. Which I tend to do. But yeah, Mario and Rabbids was basically like a kid's version of XCOM. It plays the same way, except you have 3 different accuracies you're going to hit. 100%, 50%, 0%. That's what you're going to get. So it was a lot easier for kids to pick up, obviously because it's made for the Nintendo Switch. But it was such a fun game to play. Because like you got the regular Mario characters, Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Peach. And then you got the Rabbids versions, which was really cool. But there's a sequel coming out, which looks really, really fun. They announced the release date for the new Shin Megami Tensei game, Shin Megami Tensei 5, which, if you've never played one of those games, the remaster of the 3rd one, Nocturne, just came out. It is a fantastic game. You should totally go pick it up. It is one of my favorite titles that ever came out on the PS2. It is one of the most difficult RPGs I have ever played in my life. Like, it is just, like, it is very, very hard. And there's 3 different versions you can play. You can play the original Japanese version. You can play the Maniacs version, which is what we got in North America. Or you can play the Chronicle version, where you get to play with an entirely new different character. They updated the graphics a little bit. They added some DLC areas to help you with, like, leveling up and getting money. It's an amazing game. It looks really, really fun. I mean, it is really, really fun. But the 5th one looks really good. It's basically kind of a similar story. It's basically like the whole world ends up going to hell, and you have to decide whether you want to side with God, demons, or if you just kind of want to say fuck it and run the world yourself, which is fun. And it's usually the route I go because you can't trust deities. They are garbage people. Also, what else got announced? Oh, Mario Party Superstars, which was an absolute delight. If you've ever played a Mario Party game, you know that Mario Party games have been the destroyer of worlds, friendships, relationships, marriages, what have you, for years. And within the last few years, they have